Welcome to your December 2025 messages. Hi, everybody. I'm Devin Dewar. This is an all signs reading. We're going to be going through all 12 signs. And as always, I encourage you to listen to all 12 signs. If you want to know more about why, check out my Know Your Signs video below, where I teach you how to pull your birth chart for free and see that you have all 12 signs in your birth chart. So what you want to do is grab your journal. And if any messages resonate with you, even if you don't think you have any planets there or angles there, if it resonates with you, there are messages for you. So definitely write them down. So we are doing this live today and early. I normally do this on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Central. However, it is the holiday season. It looks like there's going to be multiple times we're going to be changing things up. My goal is to always do it by Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central or sooner. So we're doing it sooner this week. Happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays to all of you, everybody listening around the world. It's so exciting to be here with you and connect with you. We are going to jump into your all signs reading in just a moment. As always, I will do bonus messages, but I wanted to share something with you. If you missed my free numerology webinar, there's good news. It was very, very popular, so we've decided to create a replay. All you have to do is click the link below and you can sign up to get the replay completely free, no strings attached. This is an opportunity to see this powerful end of a numerological cycle that we are ending. So 2025 is a 9-year. We're moving into a 1 year in 2026. And I go over all the examples of how all the way back since 1908, every time we finished a 9 cycle and entered into a 1, how that affected us globally. But then I teach you how to apply it to your own life with your own personal year. So if you want to check out that free replay, it's linked right below in the discussion. And after this particular live, I'm going to be going live in my private community called Coffee with Devin. So in that replay, I talked to you about a little bit. I'm going to be going into deep dives with numerology and how you can use it in your life inside my community Coffee with Devin, because it's easier to do there. And today we're going to be talking about your life lesson number. It's really fun to calculate and compare it to the year you're in right now. So we will be doing that right after this live. If you're already one of my members in Coffee with Devin, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's such an honor to have you here as a founding member. And we're going to be doing that after this. I'll probably, get a little drink of water, give my voice a little bit of a break, and then we will jump into the community. I will teach you how to calculate that number and how to apply it. We'll do some other things there too. Of course, Coffee with Devin is meant to be all topics. So we're going to go into your all signs reading here too. And I feel like there was something else exciting I was going to tell you, but I just want you to know that if you missed it, first of all, thank you to all of you who did enroll. It was very, very popular. Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. Would you like me to do another topic as a free webinar at the end of the month? I'm looking at possibly doing one in between Christmas and New Year's. And I've got a lot of ideas of things that we could talk about to help you launch into 2026. But I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What excites you? Do you want more on numerology? Would you like me to talk more about astrology? Would you like me to talk more about different things going on in the energy? But for now, we are going to talk about December 2025. So I like to do a overall of the energy as we go into it. Sometimes keywords will come through, sometimes not. We're going to see what plays with this. And then I always update these messages throughout the month. So those of you who are here with me live, hello, please let me know where you're tuning in from. It's so fun to see everybody who tunes in all over the world. And if you're watching the replay later, let me know, give me a shout, say hello. And it always really helps if you like and share my video and comment. So I really appreciate that as well. All right, let's get started here. I see some people already in the chat. We're going to start with Aries and then, of course, do your bonus messages here. Hello, everybody. All right, we're going to start with Aries. And I will do the timestamps at the end so that you can come back and watch as many times as you want. These are meant to apply to all messages together. So hopefully you have your journal nearby so we can jump into this. All righty. Aries, for December, we have the 5 of Earth card. Now, I do not read literally. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I read intuitively, so we're going to pull all this together. 10 of Water. Ooh, I like that. And we have the Explorer card. Oh, that's exciting. You know, that energy goes really well with us moving into Sagittarius energy this past, was it Friday night? I think we moved, or was it Saturday night? I'm losing track of my days now. But the sun is in the sign of Sagittarius now. This is where we really start to feel that holiday spirit. It's about your beliefs, your dreams. And this Five of Earth card around fears surrounding money, you know, what I like to think about with this card is that there is a way out of this kind of darker, more dense energy if you go higher with your thoughts, with your imagination, and if you call in the spiritual help. I also have another video below called Know Your Spiritual Team. It's linked below. If you're not familiar, you have guardian angels, ascended masters, passed away loved ones, all kinds of amazing beings that work with you on your spiritual team. And we often forget to ask for their help. So with this card, this is that reminder. Ask for your spiritual team to help you. Ask for loud and clear signs to move out of that energy. But what I'm actually getting for you, Aries, is this is something you've been going through and you are now moving out of it with this 10 of water card. See all these beautiful cups up here? This is a card of love and blessings, but these blessings are up above as well. And I do like to think of the idea that it's kind of like counting your blessings and bringing them down into reality and using them to really move through this energy. And then, of course, with this Explorer card, which is so perfect for the Sagittarius energy and for you, Aries, another fire sign, you're being asked to explore your dreams further, explore ways that you can get to them further. See, we're wrapping up this 9-year in 2025 as an opportunity to start something new. There's going to be so much new happening next year. If you follow astrology, you know we have Saturn and Neptune moving back into Aries next year. It's the very first sign of the zodiac, your sign Aries, but all of us are going to be getting these brand new starts. So what you're being asked to do in December is to dream big and figure out how can you reach these cups and pull them down into reality. Explore new ways. Maybe you've always dreamed of living in a certain location in the world. Can you do some research on that in December? We're going to be wrapping up that Mercury retrograde. Saturn's going to be going direct this week. You're going to have an opportunity to make progress in December so that you can kind of enter 2026 already with a decent amount of momentum build up, right? I know a lot of times with the holidays, things kind of get stagnant, things slow down. This is going to be a little bit of a different holiday season as long as you're dreaming big. So this goes for all 12 signs, but I definitely encourage you to start thinking about ways that you can pull these cups down from the ethereal world. This is in your thoughts, your dreams, your wishes. Pull them down into this reality. Explore ways to make them a reality in 2026. This is going to help really pull you out of that Five of Earth energy that you've been going through. All right, I love that for the Aries. That's exciting, or wherever you have Aries in your chart. I see we have a lot of people here in the chat today for my impromptu early live. Thanks for being here. Healing Hands 4040, JD Cross, Healing Hands, hello. Melissa K. O'Donnell from Ireland, hello. Good to see you. Healing Hands is in Michigan. Brandy, great to see you here. Taurus, we're getting right to start on your sign. Good timing. Hello, Heather. Janie Hubert's here. Good to see you. Yes, major shifts for sure, Melissa. And, you know, I'm always looking for us to find ways to set intentions for that. So that's why I was asking at the beginning of this live, do you have anything you would like for me to cover on another workshop? Because we had so much fun together with the numerology, which again is available as a replay. Just sign up at the link below. It's totally free. All right, Tauruses, what do we have for you for December energy? Ooh, look at that. 6 of Fire. Ooh, I'm loving that for the Tauruses. 2 of Fire. All right, for Sagittarius energy, this is exciting. And Success. I love this for the Tauruses. All right, so Tauruses, with this 6 of fire energy, you're finally getting the recognition you deserve. You've been working so hard over the last several years. Uranus dipped back into your sign recently. You're like, really? Okay, I thought we were done with that energy, but no, it's okay. It's here to help you. It's here to help you wrap up those things you've been going deep and working on, the things you've been releasing, and you're finally getting that success. You're finally getting that breath of fresh air. So I highly encourage you to view Uranus as your friend here, who is making sure that any stone left unturned is getting turned over for you to see the beauty and the gifts you have to share, especially with this 2 of fire card, planning, partnering, and progress. So there's something really exciting in your life around partnerships, around love, around passion projects, and it's an opportunity for you to really feel secure in your relationships. That's what I see coming in for Tauruses. Things have been really kind of all over the place regarding personal relationships, business relationships, relationships to your body, to your projects. And I know that you had a lot of messages for 2025. I usually do my forward year things in like October. So I've already done my 2026 messages. I'll probably update them if you'd like me to, but check out your 2026 messages that I did in October. But when I did the 2025 ones in October 2024, there were a lot of messages for Tauruses around detox, around clearing their energy, around shaking things out of their life that are holding them back from going for their passions. And it looks like you have been working so hard to do that because now you've got this success card, Taurus. I'm loving this. Personal or professional achievement. This is both for you guys, Tauruses. Things you've been working for on a personal level are also, affecting you on a professional level. Now, I know a lot of you out there like to say, well, what if I'm retired or I'm not working right now? There are still things in your life, legacies you've been working towards, that you're going to finally see it coming to fruition, and people are going to recognize you for your hard work. And this is what I am so excited about for the Tauruses, is that you have had these creative projects that you've been working on behind the scenes, or you've been tweaking. Maybe you've released them partially, or you've dabbled them in the past and they didn't quite launch the way you wanted. Well, now they're moving forward. Now you're getting that chance to finally have some freedom. And with Uranus moving back into Gemini in 2026, that's going to be your second house of resources and self-worth. So you are on your way to feeling worthy. And I'm going to encourage you right now to go ahead and accept your worthiness. Now, this can go for wherever you have Taurus in your chart. So example, I'm a Cap rising. My 5th house is Taurus. My moon is there. So I'm going to be taking this information around 5th house topics. I go into what your 12 houses mean in my Know Your Signs tutorial below. So check that out. It's totally free. Comes with a free PDF to download, and you can look to see where you have planets on your chart and where you don't, and apply the energies based on the house. Now you have all this success coming in for you, Tauruses. Remember to keep those boundaries with the things you've released from your life. I feel like for a lot of you, it's been around relationships. A lot of you have had to really set some boundaries with people in your life, with your workload. You know, there were a lot of you changing things at the beginning of 2025 so that you could have a better work-life balance. But remember, you're still going to go for the things that get you out of bed in the morning. So if there's still more things that need releasing, it's not too late. We're always going to be, reassessing, seeing how we can fine tune and tweak things. It may be that as you finally see this success come to fruition, you need to bring in some help. A really easy example would be if you have a small business, maybe you're outsourcing some of your smaller projects so that you can get more done. If you're retired, maybe you're hiring somebody to help take care of your home or your kids so you can have more time for creative projects. And this success card here is just letting you know, as long as you keep going, don't even give it another thought, you will see that success starting in December. So I love that for the Tauruses. Let's move on to the Geminis. Thank you guys so much for liking and sharing this video. Comment below. Let me know if this resonates. Hello, Heather. Good to see you there. We have 2 Heathers. Heather Butterfly, Heather Johnson, 1111. Love it. Oh, angel numbers. Love the angel numbers. They've been all over the place for me lately. All right, we're going to move on to the lovely Geminis here. Geminis, what do we have for you for December 2025? We have the Nine of Earth card. The Wheel card, beautiful. And we have Finding Love. Ooh, I love this. All right. Geminis, you guys have been, really finally stepping into your authority this year. Uranus is helping you do that. Obviously, when it goes back into your sign next year, you're going to really start to feel that shift coming through. And it's going to be clearing the way for you to step into this Nine of Earth energy. This card says enjoying life's luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. I've seen a lot of Geminis in 2025 move away from the way people view them. Like if you were always the person that signed up first to volunteer at the local community center, now you're saying, I need a little bit more time for me to work on my creative projects. Or maybe you were somebody who always took work that was very secure and reliable, and now you are stepping out on your own and going into self-employment or having a side business that feels a little risky, or maybe people around you don't understand why you're doing it, but you're finally saying, I don't care what people think about me doing this. I want this. My heart wants this. I want to keep going. And you have this Wheel card here too, which is, again, keep going. This is that reminder. It does take time. The universe does not move that quickly. So let's say back in June, you decided, during your birthday season, I am going to start a business, or I am going to start traveling more, or I am going to move away from this group of people and start finding people that are more like-minded. Keep going with that. It takes time. You've got to allow things to line up. This is where calling in your spiritual team can be really helpful. Remember, your spiritual team is your guardian angels, archangels, passed away loved ones, ancestors. When you remember to call in their help, they can see things from a higher perspective. So if you're getting lost in self-doubt, or you're getting lost in feeling judged, call on your spiritual team. Ask for loud and clear signs. Ask them to send people into your life to help you. Because we also have this Finding Love card here, Geminis, which means you will find the love you seek, but it starts from within. First, you have to love yourself enough to take these risks, be vulnerable, try things that are scary, try things you've never tried before, even when those around you, maybe in a loving way, they're trying to protect you and say, don't do that. That's not going to work. That's too risky. But they're doing it from love. They're saying, I just don't want to see you get hurt. You're going to have to ask yourself, am I worthy of this risk? Because you are. And that's where you bring in even more love for the things you're doing. So it may be finally publishing something that you've been working on behind the scenes. It may be, starting a podcast, starting a YouTube channel, and being willing to be vulnerable, because there are people who have love for what you're sharing with the world. Even if this is something that you're doing in retirement, a creative project, there are people who will benefit from this, but they won't know about it until you put it out there, if that makes sense, right? If you've been secretly painting in the back room of your home, nobody even knows you have painting supplies back there, but you've always dreamed of, joining an art show on the weekends. This is where you're getting your art out of there. You're renting that booth at the art show and you're putting it on display, especially starting in December, because we have this Sagittarius energy and this final wrap up of the 9 cycle. So that goes for all of you wherever you have Gemini in your chart. All right, let's switch over and get started with the Cancers. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining in and saying hello. Thanks for liking and sharing. Definitely give me a comment and let me know, what are you guys doing for the holidays in December? Are you traveling? All right, we're going to move on to the Cancers here. Cancers, what do we have for you guys? All right, Cancers, we have Queen of Fire. Love that. Confident, warm, intelligent, graceful. We have 7 of Air. Look at that. Awareness, caution, and consequences. And then we have Community, personal or professional connections. Yes, that is really, really big for Cancers for sure. This Queen of Fire card here is just really, really leaning into the things you're passionate about sharing with the world. Whether you're a teacher, whether you're somebody who has a podcast or you're a writer, whether you just love making things more beautiful in your environment. Maybe you're a gardener, maybe you're an interior decorator, maybe you are really good at helping others work through their issues. And that is something that Cancers are good at naturally, but we always have to remember to protect our energy from that first. So go for these passionate things in a big, big way. Just remember, we have this 7 of Air card here too, which I love. Chris Reck, you know my friend Chris Reck from Minopon Tarot. We do our readings together. We'll be doing another one in December. He describes this card as a card of tactics, which I really like because I know in traditional tarot, a lot of people say lying, cheating, stealing. Maybe you're lying to yourself. Maybe somebody around you is. But it's also about being smart about the moves you make, being tactical, being thoughtful before you take action. And what I'm seeing with this Queen of Fire and this together is you have so many things you could focus your energy into, Cancers. Just be smart about it because you don't want to get burned out. What you want to do is nurture the things that are the most important to you and let the other pieces fall where they may. With this community card here, I feel like what it is what is the thing that is the most important for you to be spending your time doing in the month of December? And then ask your spiritual team, how do I do this and keep that balance? And you know, for all 12 signs, I always like to remind you, and I didn't do it at the beginning, but there are 3 areas of your life I want you to think about when a message resonates with you. You have your health and fitness, you have your career and finance. If you're retired, that's your legacy. And then you have relationships, not just romantic, but children, parents, boss, friends, colleagues, right? Your community, all that. You want to find balance in all 3 of those areas as much as possible. I mean, nothing's perfect. Like certain things take a little more attention for a while. For example, when I had my kids when they were really young, I was much more focused on family. Now that they're a little more independent, a little older, I can focus more on work, right? But I'm still making sure there's time for those relationships as well as the work and stuff I'm doing. Same with my health. And I'm somebody who definitely would feel like, oh man, if I go to the gym, that's going to be another hour and a half before I get started with XYZ. And I had to flip my script. That's been a big thing for me lately, is reminding myself, hey, health is a priority. Health is wealth. But this could be something where you're doing it in a community. Maybe you're joining a fitness class, so it's more exciting and you're getting to be around friends and family while you're doing it. That was just an easy example there, but I do feel like for Cancers, you've got these magic wands that you're so capable of using for your benefit, but just be careful where you're pointing the wands. This is the strategy because you don't want to get burned out. And what I'm seeing is what you're really being asked to do is be careful that you're pointing everything towards community. So you want to be, if the most important thing is, to increase your family time and things that your family is doing, you're focusing your energy on planning that out in December. Maybe you're being strategic about how you spend time in the holidays with everybody so that you're not worn out in January. Maybe you're planning vacations with the family or you're planning events for work for 2026, but you're starting now to think about it. So again, I'm really hearing that what you want to make sure you're doing is channeling your energy in a strategic way, your creativity and your passions in a strategic way that allows you to surround yourself with the people you really enjoy being with. Okay? I love that for the Cancers. And of course, I'm going to keep asking to like and share this video if it resonates. I really appreciate it. It helps my channel grow. And of course, I love reading your comments. You could even just leave me emojis or let me know where you're going to be for the holidays this year. All right, let's switch off the Cancer sign, and we will be doing timestamps later today. Like I said, I am going to be going into my Coffee with Devin community after this to talk with you about your life lesson number. My Coffee with Devin community, I'm offering 60 days free. And so you're welcome to join me there. And of course, the numerology replay is linked below too if you missed that. All right, Leos, we have Ace of Water. Ace of Water. Ooh, that's exciting for the Leos. We have 8 of Air. 8 of Air. And then we have Shaman card. Ooh, that kind of gave me angel bumps, you know. You've had Jupiter in your 12th house, Leos, you know, because it's been in Cancer and it's been expanding your mind, expanding the way you view things, getting you interested in things like shamanism or esoteric knowledge or just trusting your intuition in a deeper way. So I'm excited about this for you guys. This Ace of Water card here, falling in love, the resurgence of a relationship, a new home. To me, it just feels like you're looking for a new way to feel emotionally secure. In fact, I really feel that's what Jupiter is doing for you right now in your 12th house, Leos. Even if you're a Leo sun or rising or wherever you have Leo in your chart, Jupiter is there to get you to expand the way you look at things and try to move on from the old way of responding emotionally to things. In fact, with this Eight of Air card here too, I do think that you're learning to walk away from certain arguments or conversations sooner so that you are not getting trapped. And of course, in this particular card, there's nothing stopping this person from turning around and walking away from all this sword energy. And I feel like you're going to start doing that in December. You're going to start realizing, you know, there's certain conversations, there's certain groups of people, there's certain topics. I'm just not interested in this anymore. This is dragging me down. It's making me feel heavy. And I want to live lighter. I want to live in a way that makes me feel more secure. And I think with this shaman energy, it's really you understanding that you have the magic within you to transform that. That way, when Jupiter goes into your sign next year, when Jupiter goes into Leo, you're going to be ready to take the gifts Jupiter is bringing you. Now, a lot of times you won't see those shifts until Jupiter's completely left the sign. So this work you have time to keep doing, but what you're being asked to do is go deep. This is a request to remember you can call on your spiritual team. Again, if you don't know who your spiritual team is, check out the link below to my Who's on Your Spiritual Team video. I call it something like that. It's linked below. And I talk about you have your guardian angels, your passed away loved ones, all these amazing beings to help you and how you can call in their help. But you do have this magic within to transform this Eight of Air energy where it's like constantly a battle with somebody. It's constantly a battle with some type of project. I just feel like you're looking for something new, something exciting. And, you know, it could be with a romantic partner where you're saying, you know what, I really want us to go to the next level with the way we engage with each other. Find ways to argue in a more productive way, a more loving way. Find ways to put things to rest and get over things that have constantly been an issue and transforming that. That's going to start from the inside and the way you view things. So it does kind of put a little responsibility on you, Leos, or wherever you have Leo in your chart, right? Remember, I'm saying all 12 signs here. Wherever you have Leo in your chart, the areas involving that house, there's some deep work that needs to be done. There's some understanding of how do I transform this with my own energy? And it starts from within. You're basically saying, all right, what is my issue with this? How can I set up boundaries so that I'm not constantly running into walls with this and look at it differently, right? And sometimes it's as simple as just one word. Instead of saying, I have to go to the grocery store, you say, I get to go to the grocery store and try a new recipe, you know, add something exciting to it, right? But I know that's a really basic example. I just feel like all of us should look at where we have Leos in our chart in the month of December and ask ourselves, what are some new ways of viewing these responsibilities or these issues that come up? And flipping the scripts so that when we start the new year and we start this 1 year in numerology, check out the numerology webinar below if you missed it. This 1 year we're going into fire sign. You're a fire sign. There's so much energy pushing you in this direction that's going to help you get free from this energy. I love that for the Leos or Leo risings or wherever you have Leo in your chart. All right, now we're moving on to the Sages here. Hello, Chimpa Rugbeer. Good to see you. Sherry Clary, good to see you. All right. What did I just say? I just said we're moving to Virgo. So let's switch on Virgos here. Thank you guys so much for liking and commenting. I really appreciate it. Alrighty, so next we have for the Virgos for December, we have Ace of Fire. That's exciting. An exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. Yep, I know a lot of Virgos who are starting new things this month. Let's see, we have the Four of Earth card, frugalness, extravagance, and control. This is, issues with material things, time and energy. We're going to clarify that in a minute. And then we have the devotion card. I love that. Spiritual practices, intuitive history. Beautiful. Yeah, I do feel like the Virgos are starting some type of new devotion, right? You're devoting yourself to something that you know is in your highest good. And I feel like for a lot of you, you've been pretty apprehensive to start this new thing. It's been a little bit of a rough go with information coming through, big sudden changes coming through for you guys with the eclipses you went through this year in your sign or wherever you have Virgo in your chart. And I do feel like this new thing that you're doing, there's been a little bit of a resistance to it. And the reason there's been a resistance is this Four of Earth card here. It's been a fear around your material resources, around your time, around your security, maybe even fear around your physical well-being that has made you feel a little trapped. And your way out of that is devotion to your spiritual practices. So what is it that you're doing on a daily basis, Virgos, that can help you stay in a higher vibration? Maybe it's listening to hemi-sync music. Maybe it's doing a little bit more journaling in the morning. Maybe it's trying something different with your meditation. Have you ever considered trying a sauna or red light therapy where you can meditate and do something healing for your body at the same time? And I feel like it's really a great time for us all to be thinking about new ways to improve our health. For me lately, I've been on this huge red light therapy kick for the last couple of years. And I recently shifted it from I was just doing the red light Omnilux masks. I shifted to a red light sauna space. And I was shocked at the way it feels, how much better it feels than a traditional sauna. And I don't have any affiliation with anything like this. I'm just sharing with you, where I have Virgo in my chart, it makes sense that I had to go learn about these therapies. I had to try them. I had to expand my mind that this is something that could actually help me before I could actually try it and realize, oh, wow, this is helping me. So I feel like for Virgos or wherever you have Virgo in your chart, wherever you're feeling resistance, it's probably because you feel like you don't have the time, the energy, or you don't feel safe doing it. So how do you feel safe? You ask your spiritual team. You bring in those loud and clear signs. How do I do this in a way that is in my highest interest? Please send me loud and clear signs. Remember, your spiritual team wants to help you. You are not bothering them. In fact, you are helping them do their job when you ask for their help. In my spiritual team video linked below, where I talk about your spiritual team, it's that reminder to ask. You have to ask for the help. But a lot of times in my journal, when I'm really struggling with something, just on a daily basis, I'll put the date. I always do this. I put the date. I say, thank you, God, for today, morning angels and guides. And then I ask for things that are feeling stuck or I'm unclear about. And I ask for loud and clear signs. And then I kind of give it up to the angels, to God, to my spiritual team. And they always bring those answers in. It just takes being open and aware. And I feel like anything you can add to your spiritual practices, whatever that is for you, just a new level of devotion. Maybe you have let things kind of fall away because of health issues or stress or strain, where maybe you always did something for your spiritual practice and you kind of let that fall away. Maybe it's time to get back into that, especially with this Sagittarius, Jupiter-ruled energy that we're in right now in December. So I encourage you all to let me know, what do you do for your spiritual devotion on a daily basis? This could be just going for a walk out in nature and counting the birds, playing with your favorite animal, spending time with children or grandchildren, doing something that makes you laugh. There's all kinds of ways to be devoted to a spiritual lifestyle, but it's about the things that bring you joy. So I really encourage you to add that to your routine. All of us really need to do that. All right. Love it. Moving on to the Libras. Hey there, Libras. All right. For December, you guys have the Queen of Air card, the Release card, and Archangel Ratziel, Inspiration, Mysteries, and Akashic Records. Wow. Well, Queen of Air, I mean, that's you guys, Libras. You're the queen or king of communication. You are masterful with it. You're good at seeing both sides and making objective decisions. The thing around this, though, is, not everybody else sees it the way you see it. So sometimes you're going to have to just let people do things the way they want to do them and just let it be what it is. This Release card here, it really is endings, transformation, and freedom. It's a lesson in surrender is what it really is. There's something where you've been trying to get through to somebody, or you've been trying to communicate something and it's just not hitting the mark. It's not your fault, Libras. It's not what you're doing. It's not the way you're saying it. It's the other person that's not ready to receive it, to hear it, to transform it. And of course, I'm not pointing fingers either. We all have our things that we're going through. But the sooner you let go of the way the people around you want to do things or view things, the sooner you can get focused on this inspiration, mysteries, and Akashic records. So really what you're doing is you're surrendering to whatever that energy is, and you're going and putting your energy into something that really excites you. Maybe you do want to start studying your Akashic records. Maybe you do want to start learning something that really helps you move out of that stalemate energy you're having with a project, with a colleague, with a family member. And just going and doing you is what it feels like, Libras. And I know it's like so cliche nowadays to say you do you, but I do feel like sometimes when there's an issue in one part of your life that is really stuck, when you go focus on another part of your life instead, that kind of allows the energy to slow down and disperse and let it be what it is. So the example would be you're constantly having arguments with, a family member. Maybe you're spending a little bit more part of your day on your creative projects or on something for work just to have a little time apart. Or you're spending more time doing active things outside of the house and just kind of letting things be what they are for right now and allowing this energy to just unfold as it's meant to. So this Release card is really releasing the need for there to be a change right now. The change will come, but it's going to take you going and doing something that's inspiring to you and just focusing on the things your heart wants. And remember, again, to ask your spiritual team for loud and clear signs. Sometimes the answer is there's nothing more you can do right now. Let us work on this behind the scenes. You go do something that really inspires you. Okay, so that's something that I would definitely recommend we all do wherever you have Libra in your chart, whatever areas that is, that those are. I will remind you of my favorite movie that, I always love to bring up when we get these kinds of messages. One of my favorite movies, Under the Tuscan Sun with Diane Lane. And there's that scene where the older, wiser woman is advising her. She's gotten her heart broken again. And the older lady is like, go work on your house and forget about it. And so she immerses herself into restoring this old home in Tuscany. It's a great movie if you missed it. Great holiday watch. And then she ends up getting everything she wishes for. I won't give any more away. But I just love that line. Go work on your house and forget about it. You know what I mean? And then people will show up in your life because you've asked for it. So you make the wish, you ask your spiritual team for help, and then you go work on your house or your project or whatever, and you forget about it. Let it come to you. All right. So that's messages for everybody, not just the Libras. All right. Let's move on to, oops, we're not on Sagittarius yet. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to skip. I was getting excited there. We got to do the Scorpios first. Scorpios, hello. I hope you had an amazing birthday season. What do we have for the Scorpios for December 2025? We have the Four of Water. We have King of Air. Your neighbor signs had Queen of Air. Interesting. If you missed the Libra reading, you might want to go listen. Knowledgeable, objective, respected. And parent-child. Parent-child. Yeah, okay, so for Scorpios, I do think that whenever I see this card here, it's a feeling of being left out, missing out on something, not being excited about something that's coming up for you. I feel like one of the reasons that this energy is coming through is kind of boredom for me, is you're ready to stir things up a little bit, Scorpios, is what it feels like. You're ready to change things up. You're kind of bored with the same old thing. Maybe this is in your daily routine. Maybe this is, the way you've always spent the holidays, the way you've always spent, vacations throughout the year. You're wanting something else. And I do feel like for some of you, it's really around sharing your art with the world in a different way. So, you could be retired and maybe you never even considered writing a book, but now you are. Or you're starting a podcast based on a book you've written or based on some experience you've had in the past. This King of Air card, knowledgeable, objective, and respected, is reminding you that you have earned this, Scorpios. And I've been getting this energy for a lot of you all year. You've worked really hard. You've really focused to advance your skills and knowledge. You have earned the right to begin communicating about something that you're really passionate about. And so I feel like maybe you have something that you felt really creative with, but you're feeling just a little bored, like not excited about doing it. And it's because you need to go bigger with your communication. So a very easy example of this is maybe you teach classes locally, for maybe it's an art class or maybe it's an astrology class, or, there's something you're doing that you love doing and you're kind of like, I'm not excited about doing this anymore, even though it's something I'm good at or I have a skill. Well, maybe it's time to start a YouTube channel and teach it that way, where you have a little more freedom with who you reach and how you talk about it. And that's a really basic example. I feel like you know what this is for you, but this parent-child family card here for me is bringing up that it is some kind of creative project or thing that you've been nurturing, and you've been doing all this work to nurture it, but it's time to kind of set it free out into the world. And so this could literally be something you've been working on behind the scenes, and it's time to go ahead and launch that business and start offering things to the public, or it's time to go ahead and share it with the world. Just like with it, ultimately, we as parents are sad to see our children grow up so quickly and move away, but that is also what we want for them. We want them to eventually go out into the world and have their own experiences. And I feel like there's something that you need to bring into the world in December. That's going to really help you with these big starts coming in. Go ahead and get started now, Scorpios. You don't need to wait until next year to get started. Even though we are, again, reminder, numerology webinar linked below, we are ending this 9-year cycle. This is still a chance here to get started with something new. And it could be you're taking something you're already doing to a new level with the way you're sharing it with the world. Does that make sense with you, Scorpios? Because I feel like I've seen you guys really, really working hard on honing your skills for so long now. I think it's time for you to own it and share it with the world. And people need that. We need you, Scorpios. So I love that for the Scorpios. How's everybody doing? My impromptu live early this week. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of cooking on Wednesday. So I thought, you know what? I bet you a lot of people are going to be doing cooking. We'll do our live early. All right, now we're on the Sages. Happy birthday, Sages. We have the Queen of Water card for you for your birthday season. That's exciting. I love that. We have the Three of Air. And we have the Overworked card, out of balance. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me for you guys, Sages. With this Queen of Water card here, I do feel like, you have been very much the master with your emotions for those around you. I feel like you've been counseling others, you've been supporting others, you've been staying strong for others when they've been overwhelmed, when they've had things going on, and you haven't really had the time to focus on the things that you need, your own emotional needs, your own physical needs. And this Three of Air card is showing me that, you have been kind of waiting for an apology or some kind of recognition that is likely not coming. And, but it's subconsciously been a little bit prickly for you, and it may even be affecting you physically. So I want you to listen to your body in the month of December and ask yourself, what am I still not releasing? What am I not letting go of? You had the sun in your 12th house when it was up until it moved into Sagittarius this weekend. You had the sun in Scorpio really going deep with you, asking you to do this deep inner reflection. But in a lot of ways, this overworked card is saying, it's like, how am I supposed to do my own inner work when I'm so busy supporting everybody else that's around me? And I do think for a lot of you, I know a lot of you have shifted jobs, or you've shifted careers, or you've even moved. And the people that are around you are really looking to you. They're really relying on you. They're excited about what you're bringing to the table, and they're asking a lot of you. And I feel like, they may be asking too much. You may have to have that conversation with a spouse, a boss, a child, a parent. I'm getting a little overworked. It's my birthday month, my birthday season. We need to slow down a little bit. I need to take care of my physical body because, of course, now the sun is in your first house with the sun in Sagittarius. So that's your physical body, right? And of course, if you're a Sag rising, it is. If you're Sag sun, then that would be from a solar perspective. But it really is important that you listen to your body in December. What it's going to do for you is show you the things that you need to just go ahead and let it be water under the bridge. This is that Queen of Water energy that you're actually already good at that. I feel like a lot of Sages are already good at being like, hey, you know what? I accept your apology, move on. But there are some things I'm even feeling it like between my shoulder blades. I feel like there may still be a few things where you may have felt a little stabbed in the back or a little, just let down by people you had a lot of faith in. And your body's trying to tell you, let's heal that. Let's work on that in December. And let's see where we can take some things off our plate to allow that healing. So I do think anything you can do to take some time off for your birthday and make sure you're doing more for yourself, Sagittarius, is going to be really, really valuable. All right. Let's move on to, we've got the Capricorns. Whoops. Well, we will be moving into the Capricorns' birthdays. I don't know if it's the 20th or 21st. I don't have my astrology calendar in front of me, but obviously we will be moving into your birthday season by the end of December, Caps. So let's see here. We've got the Page of Air card here. Logical, honest, and curious. Love that. We've got the Queen of Earth card here. Beautiful. Gracious, practical, capable, very Capricorn-like. And then something missing, intimacy or fertility issues. All right, we're going to bring this all together here. So the Page of Air card, actually, excuse me, I'm going to have to get a sip of water. My throat's a little dry, sorry. Much better. The Page of Air card here. There has been some new information that's come up for you guys. It's been a lot. It's been hard to talk about. I feel like Capricorns have needed to have some one-on-one conversations that have been a little challenging. I feel like some people have not necessarily responded in the most high vibrational way. This is that impulsive energy. It says truth delivered without tact. It's, it might be true what someone's saying, but they're saying it in a hurtful way or in a way that's not considerate of your feelings or those around them. And then we have this Queen of Earth card here, gracious, practical, and capable. This is you, rising above that impulsive energy and saying, you know what, I'm not going to have a knee-jerk reaction to this. I'm not going to allow other people's impulsive energy to affect where I'm headed. I'm going to stay focused on my goals in December, and I'm going to keep going. Now, this something missing card here too, intimacy or fertility issues, it's mostly talking just about the fact that there may have been things that you've tried bringing up to a spouse, romantic partner, a child, a parent, a sibling, where they're so defensive. This could also be this Page of Air card. They're so defensive. They're so quick to react to what you're trying to share with them that it's left you feeling just a little a little lost when it comes to that relationship. What are the things you could do to start bringing that intimacy back to that relationship? Again, it doesn't have to be a romantic partner, but just that feeling of mutual acceptance, safety. We talk a lot about like the people you feel at home around, like you can really be authentic around them. I feel like that's where you need to step into this practical energy and ask yourself, if the people around me are not really willing to put the effort into bringing that back, then I'm going to go do the things that protect my energy and, be really focus on my skills and focus on my goals. So this is kind of like, was it Libra that I was talking about? You do you, go work on your things and allow these other people around you that are kind of dealing with this impulsive energy to just kind of let it go away as it needs to go away. Let it release. It will release. Things will shift as we have these planetary movements happening. They will be helping you. So really, again, the best thing you can do is go focus on your own goals, try to be really practical. And if something is missing, I would take the opportunity to have those conversations and try to take a practical approach to bringing that intimacy or that connectedness back together. Now, for some of you, this isn't about a person. This is about something you're working on. And maybe you've just felt like it's all happening so quickly and you want to have a little bit more of a pragmatic and focused approach to it, whether it's a creative project you've started or you're finishing. But if you're feeling a little challenged to focus on it, it may be that you need to just treat it more like something that is that you would have an intimate relationship with, something that's very personal to you, right? So if it's a work project, it's like I'm putting a lot of myself into this Queen of Earth energy. This is important to me that my authenticity shines through in this project, in this relationship, in this thing that I'm doing, if that makes sense. All right. So I think that if you just keep focusing on what you're already doing, Capricorns, and being very logical about it, not being too, I don't see Caps being impulsive very often, but maybe there have been some people around you doing things or saying things that have been a little triggering. Just remember to go back into that grounded energy. And then that's going to help you bring that closeness to the project, to the person, whatever that is for you. All right. I love that. Great reminder for all of us, wherever we have Capricorn. Appreciate you commenting below, letting me know how you're doing, where you're tuning in from. Of course, what are your plans for the holiday season? Okay, I need to click on the right symbol here. Sorry, Aquas. Aquarius. What do we have for Aquarius for December 2025? I will be putting the timestamps in later today. All right, Knight of Earth. We have loyal, dedicated. Love that. Time to buckle down and get things done. If you're tuning in late, I am going to take a short break after we wrap up. I'm going to do the bonus messages after we do Pisces, and then I'm going to go over to my Coffee with Devin community to talk more about numerology and your life lesson number. So feel free to join me at the link below. I'm offering 60 days free. And if you missed my free webinar on numerology for 2026, that's linked below as well. We have the, let's see, for Aquas, we have the renewal card. That's great. Reflection, self-evaluation, rebirth. And we have Archangel Gabriel, communication of all kinds. That's so fun. I always call on Archangel Gabriel before I go live, before I teach a class. I work very closely with Archangel Gabriel. I didn't know that for many years, for many, many years, how closely Archangel Gabriel was working with me. In fact, I always thought it was Archangel Uriel a lot of the time, which I do work with Archangel Uriel. But once it became clear that it was Gabriel, I was like, oh my gosh, I've been like oblivious to this, and now I see all the signs. So let me know if that resonates with you guys, and let's go deeper here. I have Knight of Earth, loyal, dedicated, kind, time to buckle down and get things done, Aquas. And I feel like a lot of you have been trying to do that, but you've been pulled into other situations. You've been having to deal with family members, children, bosses, colleagues, clients that are just really, really, really needing your support. And they do need your support. And that's awesome that you're there for them. It's so amazing. It's so great that you can set examples in that way, but you're also ready for something different. And so with this renewal card, what I'm getting for Aquas is there is this self-evaluation going on. Like, what do I really want for my brand, for my relationship, for my home, for my physical health? What do I really want for that in 2026? And so I think you're going to be spending a lot of time thinking about that now in December, so that when we do get to your birthday season, you're ready to take action with those things. Of course, you will, have, when the sun goes into Capricorn in your 12th house, you'll have to do some deep soul searching on that. But ask yourself this now, Aquas, what are the things that I want to have a renewed excitement about? Maybe you do want a personal relationship to feel new again, and you want to bring back the romance or bring back the excitement. But I do think for a lot of you, it's more about your day-to-day schedule that you want a renewal in. You've been working towards that. And it's something around communication as well. Archangel Gabriel is the angel of communications, both delivering messages to you and helping you deliver messages. Hence the reason I call on Archangel Gabriel a lot when I'm doing my lives, so that I can share the highest vibrational messages with all of you through Archangel Gabriel's support. You are being asked to share your messages in a bigger way. So if you're normally doing one-on-one client sessions, maybe it's time to start doing group sessions. If you're normally writing your blog posts or things, maybe now you're starting to do videos or podcasts. I'm using those examples because they're easy. If you're retired, it could be anything you're doing in your community that you're excited about. If you're a student, it could be upgrading your technology. It could be just changing the way that you are organized. I've actually seen that in a lot of recent readings for Aquas, so I'm going to bring it back up again. There is something around your organizational skills that if you could just get a little bit more organized with how you spend your day, how much time you're putting into a task, maybe it's time to upgrade your technology or upgrade your software so you're not spending so much time on that. And then you can be there for more people. Like I was saying, going from one-on-one sessions to group sessions, and you can do more one-on-one sessions because you've hired somebody to do your bookkeeping and your social media, right? Something like that. So there is something that you're probably needing to renew your focus on, and maybe you're spending too much time on something that isn't really allowing you to share your message. That's really, that came in really clearly for me too. It's like you're getting distracted by, I guess the easiest way is it's taking you all morning to create a social media post that reaches, I don't know, I don't want to say it reaches a small group of people when you could be starting a YouTube channel and doing a whole tutorial that reaches a lot more people, right? And that doesn't have to be what it is for you. I just feel like there's something that maybe if you just outsourced it or if you changed the way you did it, you'd have a lot more time to share the messages you want to share. And Archangel Gabriel's there to support you. All right, never least but last here, Pisces, we have you guys, and then we're going to do your bonus messages. And then I'm going to take a short break and hop over to my Coffee with Devin community to talk about your life lesson number in numerology, which is an extension of the free workshop I did last week, which you can still catch the replay at the link below. All right, Pisces, what do we have for you December 2025? 3 of Fire. Love that for the Pisces. We have Knight of Air. And we have Archangel Phanuel. I've pulled this card before, and I just always tell you straight up, I have not worked with this angel. But it's a beautiful card, and obviously there's energy around optimism and hope there when working with that angel. At least that's what the author of this card says. So let's go into what these messages mean for Pisces. So Pisces with this 3 of Fire card here, I think it's really about understanding that it's time to triple down or quadruple down on collaborations. Anything that you've already been doing in a collaborative capacity, say that 10 times fast, collaborative capacity, sorry. I was kind of surprised that one came out. Thank you, Archangel Gabriel. But whatever you've been doing to collaborate with those around you, keep going, do more. Like maybe you've recently started a new hobby and you found a group of people who meet up to talk about it and do it together. Do more of that. Like if you've been doing it once a week, do it twice a week. Starting now, like don't wait till next year. And then even if it's a work project or it's something regarding your health and fitness where you're, joining a gym or something like that, keep going with what you're doing. It's really going to support you moving into 2026. And it should be the things that are exciting you. I do, remind all 12 signs this, but I've also gotten this for you a lot over the last couple of months, Pisces, to remember to focus on the things that help you get out of bed in the morning, the things that inspire you, the things that get you excited. Even if you don't have as much time as you want to do it during that day, those are the things that really help you bring that balance into those 3 areas of your life: your relationships, not just romance, but romance and personal relationships, your health and fitness, and of course, your career and finance, or if you're retired, your legacy, the thing you're leaving behind, the thing that you're spending your time doing. These are, involve other people. And so allow those people to be a part of your world in a bigger way. Then we have the Knight of Air card here, intellectual, determined, motivated. Yeah, so I feel like you want to be stimulated by these conversations too. The people you're surrounding yourself with are people who enjoy discussing the things you enjoy discussing, and they're willing to go to the next level. It's not just a superficial conversation. It's really deeper. I was watching a podcast the other day, and they were talking about conversation starters. Instead of being like, where are you from? What do you do? Which are kind of like one answer things. You do things like you ask, tell me about your most embarrassing date you ever had, which, that could be a little awkward to just bring up with somebody you've just met, but just ways like having things in your back pocket where you can have more of a discussion than I'm from here and this is my job, right? And I feel like for Pisces, if you could spend a little time thinking about those things before you go into this collaboration or before you go into this group of people, you're going to find that it just feels like, I was going to say water off a duck's back, but as a fish, it just feels like really easy for you to swim through those conversations when you have these kind of ideas in your back pocket about like something fun to ask somebody you don't really know, but would also keep the conversation open. The flip side goes for conversation ending things, which I think we talked about. I may have even talked about with Chris Reck on my most recent video where we did talk about it, where it's like being in a conversation that you want it to be over, but you don't want to be dismissive and you don't want to, not be rude or anything, but it's like, how do you kind of wrap up the conversation in a loving way? Another thing to have in your back pocket, so that when you are in these group environments, you have a way to continue good conversations, you have a way to politely end them. And then the Fanuel, optimism, hope, I just really feel like this energy is talking about that reminder that focus on the things that get you excited to start your day. They get you excited to go to bed early so that you have the energy the next day. That's one of the things I've been thinking about lately is, I would sometimes catch myself not wanting to go to bed because I feel like I'm missing out. And what am I missing out on? Like one more Netflix series? I don't know. Sometimes I would catch myself in that energy. And then I flip the script to, well, if my body is telling me it's tired and I get to go to bed early because I have that opportunity, how much more energy will I have tomorrow morning to really, really focus on those projects? And it shifted everything into, I can't wait to go to bed and get up in the morning and get started on my next exciting thing. So I feel like that's a really good thing for all 12 signs to keep in mind. And let's do your bonus messages here to kind of tie it all together. But yeah, really excited for you guys, Pisces. All right, so one more quick reminder. It really helps me out if you would like and share this video. Comment below. The comments really help as well. I appreciate it. And if you did miss my free webinar on numerology talking about this massive shift we are going through ending 2025 into 2026, the link is below. It's totally free, no strings attached. And if you are in my Coffee with Devin community, or you would like to join, I'm doing 60 days free as founding members. I'm going into that community after this live. We're going to talk about your life lesson number. So it's an extension of the free numerology workshop I did last week. Replay available now, the link below. And also, we're going to do more and more of the numerology. Like, that's going to be something I'm going to be bringing in. I'm basically, on top of my extra messages I do for my community, Coffee with Devin, I'm going to be doing Learn with Me. So we're going to learn topics. And some topics I've already studied for years, such as numerology. Other topics, you and I are going to learn them together. And I'm going to share what I learned and we're going to apply them. And it's going to be a great way. So if you want to surround yourself with other people like you who really focus on their spirituality, connecting with their spiritual team, definitely check out my Coffee with Devin community as well. I hope to see you there. Alrighty, let's move on to the bonus messages here. All right, for the bonus messages, we're going to do the present energy, the near future, the future, and then 2 actions to take so that we can really start December off with some positive guidance, some really clear guidance, right? And I do like that we didn't see the Tower card come up for anybody for December, because I feel like that was all we saw in November and October. I feel like so many Tower cards were coming up. And I see the Tower card as a good card, but I find it interesting that we saw it so much and now we're not seeing it as much now. But let's see what comes up now. I may have just made sure that we see that card. All right. What is coming up for the present energy for December? We have the Page of Air card. Truthful, analytical, and outspoken. We talked about that for one of the signs. It's a little bit of a card of impulse, maybe truth delivered without tact, right? Yeah, I definitely think that we've seen that, especially as we get into the holidays, guys. I mean, a lot of us are going to be around people that we aren't around on a daily basis during the holiday season, or we're going to be around them more. Like maybe you're used to seeing them for, a quick meal, and now you're spending 2 to 3 days together. We are going to want to have some things in our back pocket to handle the people around us that are responding in not the nicest way, people who are not happy about delays or the choice of menu for the holiday meal, or they're not happy about someone in the room. We're going to have to watch out for that energy and just say, hey, this is an inexperienced energy. It's like the kid that says the embarrassing thing to their mom in front of the neighbor, it's like they're just practicing their voice. And if you can see it from that perspective, the people around you, they're practicing speaking up for themselves. It makes it a little easier to be compassionate. But just watch out for it for yourself as well, that, as you find out that maybe there's a change in plans that's still likely. We still have Mercury retrograde until the end of November. At the time I'm recording is this November 24th. We still have Mercury retrograde. It will be in its shadow period, which means it's still passing the degrees it retrograded past all the way until, I want to say, like December 15th. I don't remember off the top of my head, but basically halfway through December, we're going to still see a little bit of that Mercury retrograde leftover stuff happening. So that means changes at the last minute to travel plans, issues with technology that need to be fixed. But just remember to stick with those RE words too, by the way. You can always turn it into a positive: reorganize, rearrange, rethink, research, okay? So I'm not concerned about that at all, because that's just the energy we're leaving behind as we move in to December. So the near future card, we have pulled the wrong deck there. We have the 8 of Earth card. I love this. Education, focus, and details. Yes. Sagittarius energy, but also focus and grounded energy. Have you been thinking about taking an online class? Have you been thinking about signing up for a workshop or signing up for a new fitness class? Maybe you've always wanted to try pickleball, so you're taking a pickleball 101 class. I did that a couple years ago. It was actually really fun. I haven't had a chance to get back to it, but I mean, I've recently signed up for a new online course that I'm going to be spending a lot of time on. I'm really excited about. So do that now. Think about the ways you can add to your skills, hone your skills, get better. That's actually going to help you with this page of air card too. It could just be that you're learning how to speak up for yourself in a better way. I did really hear that for some of you, maybe you're learning to speak up amongst family members and stand up for yourself, but you're doing it in this with strategy, right? With skills, with knowledge. You're not just coming from out of nowhere. You're coming with information. You're coming with experience, and that's going to really benefit you. So I do want you to think about the areas in your life where you already have some skills and knowledge and experience, and what could you do to add to that? Maybe watching a YouTube video, maybe signing up for getting a coach, a mentor, all kinds of ways you can hone your skills in December to launch you into 2026 with so much momentum. I love that for all of us. All right. So then we have, whoops, wrong camera. Then we have the Page of Earth card. Page of Earth for the future is what I call this. Studious, prepared, cheerful. Coming right off of the 8 of Earth card. What are you guys learning? What are you starting? Did you decide to sign up to go back to school? Are you starting classes in December or January? Well, this is such good energy for this. I'm telling you, I think you're going to see yourself so ready to drink in the knowledge of this thing you're focused on. So again, if you're learning a new hobby, are you going online and joining a community that does that? There's so many niche things out there. I decided during COVID, I wanted to learn to knit. And I was amazed at the amazing YouTube channels out there that could teach you to do it. It was so much fun. And then I started looking in the comments and realizing there's all these groups, and it just, you can do that with anything that you're excited about, and dream big with those things. Don't let time or resources hold you back. You could use it to learn. If you don't have the money to invest in that new hobby yet, or to buy the new supplies, or just sign up for that class, you can go on YouTube and watch free things on there. There's so much free education right here on YouTube. So definitely check that out. There is something new. You're spending a lot of time and energy honing with your skills, your knowledge, your experience. So get out there and experience things in December. All right, so let's get 2 action cards here to wrap all this up, and then I will meet my community over in the Coffee with Devin for some more numerology. We have Ace of Water, emotions, relationships, intuition. This is awesome. This is literally saying one of your actions to take is to start something new that you're excited about, that you love, that maybe it's time to finally look for that romantic partner. Maybe it's time to finally take things to a new level with a relationship. Maybe you are admitting to yourself, I've always wanted to learn acrylic painting. I'm going to get started learning on how I can do that now. But there is something new you are starting in the month of December that is going to allow you to move into January 2026 with momentum, okay? Maybe you're just collecting the things you need to start in January or February or March, right? All right, let's get your next action card here. We have the Queen of Water. Oh, I didn't switch my camera. You can see it. Queen of Water. This card came up again. Loving, giving, and psychic. Yes, all of us are going to see our psychic abilities going to the next level. Right now, December 2026, I'm telling you right now, we're not even waiting for December. We're not even waiting for 2026. Your telepathic abilities are going to a new level. Your psychic abilities are going to a new level. In fact, that's one of the things I'm going to be teaching more of and talking about more of in my Coffee with Devin community is you have natural born psychic and intuitive abilities. So I'm going to be there to answer your questions, share tools and techniques. And so maybe you've always wondered, do I have these abilities? Go explore it. Go get excited about learning new things around it. But you do have these abilities, and it is a gift. We all have different gifts at different levels. Some of us are more clairvoyant. Some of us are more clairsentient. Some of us are more get messages through our dreams, things like that. But we all have them. And so now is the time to start honing them. In fact, yesterday I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was really having a hard time focusing on what they were saying because their aura was so visible. So visible. I mean, it was broad daylight, 10 in the morning, and their aura was just like, I felt like I could touch it, which you can touch it, but to be able to visibly see it extending out of their body. And that's not always easy to see. If you've never practiced seeing auras, that's another skill you could get started with. We can talk about it in my community, Coffee with Devin. I started learning to do it intentionally when I was taking my Reiki classes, and I would look at the aura of a plant or the aura of my hand, things like that. And I began to see auras more and more and more. But yesterday in this particular conversation, I wasn't looking for the person's aura. It was just like whoosh. And I was like, this is freaking awesome. I'm having a hard time paying attention. So I want you guys to think about those things that get you excited about using your natural born intuitive abilities, that get you excited about a skill. Even if you don't call yourself a light worker, even if you don't actually use your abilities as a trade, you don't need to. You can channel them in to being an amazing parent or grandparent, into being a teacher, into being a creative, an artist. That's what they all do, right? So I invite you to do that. I invite you to join me at the Coffee with Devin community. Again, 60 days for free, link below. I'm going to hop over there after a quick break. And don't forget to check out that free numerology webinar we did last week for the replay, link below. Wow, did we learn some cool things. All right, thank you guys for being here. I'll see you next time, and happy holidays. Bye, everybody.